Have you ever looked at your life and inwardly thought, I'm no longer fulfilled? Not because your life is falling apart, but on some level, there's a dissatisfaction. You can't explain it, and you wouldn't dare share that with anyone because there isn't anything obvious in your life to justify this dissatisfaction. Maybe dissatisfaction isn't always a sign that something is wrong. Maybe it's a strong sign that something is changing, and that something is you. Good morning. What happens when the life that you've built no longer fits? A life script isn't always obvious. Sometimes it looks like success. Sometimes it looks like responsibility. But what if the life you built was never yours? I think one of the hardest experiences that we can go through in life is to finally receive what our hearts desired, something we even prayed for. Maybe it was a career. Maybe it was a house. Maybe it was a certain lifestyle, only to realize one day you are no longer fulfilled. You quietly begin feeling disconnected from the very thing you desired. But that doesn't mean that something is wrong. It just means you're no longer fulfilled by it because somewhere along the way, you changed. Your desires changed. Yet many of us feel guilty about questioning our lives. We say things like, I should be grateful for this. I should be thankful for this. Other people would love the life that I'm living right now. But somewhere along the way, you began to be disconnected. Sometimes wanting something different feels like something is wrong with us. We feel guilty about no longer wanting the thing we have. I think many of us inherit invisible scripts, scripts that say you are successful in life and you should continue to live a successful life with no questions, no revisions, no curiosity about what else is it that I can explore. A curated life is not created all at once. It's created through self awareness, continued awareness, being in tune with ourselves, noticing when our outer life does not reflect our inner life, being honest when something is off, being okay with it being off. I think many of us have been taught to believe that having to change something means we made a mistake. But we change our wardrobes, we change the decor in our homes. And it's not because we've made the wrong choice, it's because our choices have changed. A curated life is not about rejecting your past, it's not about escaping your present. It's about grabbing all the wisdom, lessons learned to help you create the future life that you truly want. Sometimes the most courageous thing we can do isn't starting over. It's admitting we've changed. I've experienced this more than once in my life. I'm not entering chapter 2, I'm entering chapter 3. Everything I built made sense on paper. I've spent years building a career, building a marriage, my identity, time, invested. And from the outside, there were no obvious reasons to question any of it. But internally, things were shifting. I couldn't ignore the realization that the person I was becoming no longer fit into the life I was building. And although I never felt guilt, I did experience confusion, but came to the realization that it was neither. It was awareness. I hadn't wasted my life or my time, nor do I regret it. But awareness was causing me to be conscious and intentional about my next chapter. I'm grateful for the life I built. I'm grateful for the previous version of myself, but I'm equally grateful for giving myself permission to become someone new. I'd like to leave you with something to carry into your week. Now, you don't have to decide right now, but as you go into the week, I want you to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to notice. Give yourself permission to be aware. Be okay with asking yourself, is my outer life a reflection of my inner self? Is my outer life a reflection of who I'm becoming? Live thoughtful, live intentionally, and keep becoming. See you soon.